All right, first and foremost, the water YAHAWA WA YAHAWASHI crocodiles for waking us up this morning, of course. Double honors to the apostles, a great millstone, peace, salutations, and mercy to the hopeful elect out there. All right, today I wanted to do a lesson and revisit ancient Egypt, man, and the plagues that fell upon, that wicked kingdom. And calling to the remembrance, man, how terrible our Lord is, man, that he's greatly to be feared. All right, so let's get straight into it. Deuteronomy 7, verse 21, and it reads, Thou shalt not be affrighted at them, our enemies, for the Lord thy God is among you, a mighty God and terrible. All right. Deuteronomy 10, verse 17, for the Lord your God is God of gods, all right, and Lord of lords, all right, a great God, a mighty and a terrible, which regardeth not persons nor taketh reward, all right. Psalms 47, verse 2, for the Lord most high is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. All right, so once again, man, we could keep going and going and going with these precepts about how terrible and how much our Lord is to be feared, man. But I just wanted to bring out a couple precepts, man, to lay the foundation for this revisitation, if you will, back to the Exodus out of ancient Egypt. All right, so let's get into it. Let's just get into it, man. Exodus 7 and 17, and it reads, Thus saith the Lord, in this thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in mine hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they shall be turned to blood, and the fish that is in the river shall die, and the river shall stink, and the Egyptians shall loathe to drink the water of the river. All right, cool. So once again, man, we should know the story a little bit, dealing with that milk. All right, if you will. This is the second book of the Bible, ladies and gentlemen. It is our exit out of this oppression, which is ancient Egypt. All right, and from under Pharaoh's rulership. All right, so the Lord is talking to Moses, and he's telling them this is what's gonna happen if Pharaoh doesn't let y'all go. He's saying that the Lord is gonna turn all they doggone water into blood, man. All right. And it goes on in verse 19. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying to Aaron, Take thy rod and stretch out thy hand upon the waters of Egypt, upon their streams, upon their rivers, and upon their ponds, and upon their pools of water, that they may become blood, and that there may be blood throughout all the land of Egypt, both in vessels of wood and in vessels of stone. All right, so here we go, man. Once again, revisiting, how terrible the Lord is. He left no stone unturned when it came to these plagues. He made sure that they hit the streams, the rivers, the ponds, any pool of water that they had around their house. All right, and also the vessels of wood and stone that where there was a bowl that could hold water, a cup or a pail that was made out of wood or stone. He made sure that all the water in there, would turn into blood as well. And I got some visualizations, if you will, queued up just to, give you, sort of idea kind of how it would have looked back then.
Startled residents of a Russian city inside the Arctic Circle have been posting photos of a local river that has mysteriously turned blood red. Photos published on Russian social media appear to show the Dodecan River near the city of Norilsk, flowing vivid burgundy. Russian authorities have yet to establish a reason for the river's unusual appearance, but local...
Say less. I don't know what the hell is that, blood, or I doubt it's blood. I guess it's some type of contamination, but it gives you an idea, man, of how it would have looked, man, for the Lord to turn all the doggone water into blood. Now we gotta remember, if that kind of happened in today's time, that means, of course, we can't drink no water. There's no drinking water at all right, which is going to cause some major problems very, very fast. And also, there's no taking no shower, all right, no taking no bath. Ain't no brushing your teeth. You know what I'm saying? It's just it'll be a big problem, man. So moving on, man. Yeah, and it goes on to read in 7 verse 20, and Moses and Aaron did so as the Lord commanded, and he lifted up the rod and smote the waters that were in the river in the sight of Pharaoh and in the sight of his servants, and all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood, and the fish that was in the river died, and the river did in fact stink. All right, and the Egyptians could not drink of the water of the river, and there was blood throughout all the land of Egypt, just like the Lord said it was going to happen. All right. Plague number 2. All right. So once again, we're going through this spiel where the Lord is showing his power, first and foremost to, the servants of Israel, starting with Moses and the rest of the Israelites. All right. As well as our enemies, man. He's showing, who he is and what he can do and what he will do. All right. And it reads, Exodus 8, verse 2. And if thou refuse to let them go, Pharaoh, behold, I will smite all thy borders with frogs, and the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into thine house, and into thine bedchamber, and upon thy bed, and into the house of thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thine ovens, and into thine kneading throughs. All right, cool. Once again, the Lord is leaving no stone unturned. All right. He's threatening them with a plague of frogs, and he's telling them, hey, this is what's going to happen. Not only are they going to come into your house, they're going to come into your bedroom, because we know that's the place that we're going to try to hide out if there ever is some issues like this. We're going to try to run to our bedroom, and find, because like I say, having a house first and foremost is a place of refuge and a place of peace, supposed to be. And the most it should be, as it relates to men, adults, it should be like that bedroom for the most part is where you lay your head down, for the most part. So, that's always like supposed to be the most peaceful place, in someone's house, man. But the Lord said he gonna make sure that the frogs come in there, man, regardless if you didn't try to, run up in there and close and lock the door. All right, they're gonna come in the bedroom. And not only are they gonna come in the bedroom, all right, but they're gonna come upon your bed, all right, and into the house of everybody else around there, all right, into your oven. So there ain't gonna be no cooking, no baking, because there's frogs everywhere. You could only imagine, man, just stepping on frogs, just hearing the frogs making that frog noise, slime everywhere. They slimy, probably stink. It was probably a very disgusting experience, man. And into thy kneading throws. I looked up that word, and it means basically a box, if you will, where when you make and knead bread with the yeast, it's just a box basically you put it in to let it rise, man. So the frogs were in there too, man. So let's see if I got a visualization queued up for that. Yep, this happened earlier this year.
Out an important warning.
I just see a massive amount of toads or frogs just everywhere.
Toxic toads swarming swimming pools, sidewalks in the street outside Jenny Quash's home.
You can't even walk through the grass without stepping on one. They're covering people's driveways.
Jenny and her son tiptoeing through their yard inside the Mirabella at Marisol community in Palm Beach Gardens. The sudden outbreak started a few days ago. Take a look at
Tomorrow they tiptoeing through the yard. Like I said, this ain't got nothing on ancient Egypt plagues.
The toads clogging this pool filter and the poisonous pests now fueling frustration.
That when we all open our front door, it's not 100. You're talking 1,000 of these little.
Say less. All praise to YAHAWA WA YAHAWASHI. So, like I said, these people look like they're probably some so-called Edomites, and they look like they live in a very nice location, man. Very nice house, got the pool cracking. And you gotta remember what the Lord said. This was back in ancient Egypt. All that'd be blood first and foremost. They had turned into blood, all that pool right there. All right. And you hear, man, you hear how these little bitty frogs, all right, are making, these people so uncomfortable. And we can only imagine, all right, how many frogs it was back in ancient Egypt, man. They were everywhere. Like I said, these are just some little ones that are outside, bro. And then we ain't even mention that they was probably poisonous too. Shit. Probably made them sick. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I'm straight, man. I don't want no problems with the Lord, especially when it comes to things like this, because the Lord, He knows, our biggest fears, man. And it goes on to read. And the Lord spake unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch forth thine hand with thy rod over the streams, over the rivers, over the ponds, and cause frogs to come up upon the land of Egypt. And Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs did in fact come up and covered the land of Egypt. All right, so you hear what the scriptures is telling us, that the frogs covered the whole land, bro. And like I say, that was just a couple little bitty frogs, got people very, very uncomfortable. All right. Moving on to plague number 3. Exodus 8:16. And it reads, and the Lord said unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch thy rod and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. All right. And they did so, for Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man and in beast. All the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Egypt. I'm gonna tell you right now, bro, that's hard to imagine. It says all, and you know how small dust is, so I can only imagine. So check this out. Just how disgusting lice looks. And imagine if the whole land was filled with this upon all the men, all the women, all the children, all the animals, all right? Plus all crawling all on the doggone ground.
Just show this to people, they're not going to believe it.
That looks sick. Like, look, bro. Look at it.
You can show this to people, they're not going to believe it.
Let me tell you something, bro. I got a dog now. If my dog, man, had that, he gonna have to get the hell out the house. He wouldn't even be in the house, bro. I'd be so uncomfortable. Just look at just one little scrape of that comb, and how many, I don't know if that's fleas or lice or whatever the hell it is. All right. But you get the picture, man, on how disgusting it was, man. All right. Back in ancient Egypt for these guys, man. Terrible. All right, the Lord is terrible. Just unnecessary, just with it. You know what I'm saying? Where we at? Plague number 4, man. Exodus 8 and verse 21. Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, O Pharaoh, behold, I will send swarms, all right, of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy houses, all right? And the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereon they are, all right? So once again, the Lord is telling you, hey, if you don't let the children of Israel go, he's going to bring a bunch of flies. They're going to come all up on you. All right, all up on your people. They're going to get all in your house, and they're going to be all over the ground. All right, so once again, dealing with me in this life, bruh, if I get a fly, and if in the crib, it's pretty kind of uncomfortable. They annoying, just one fly, bro, and you try your best to swat them or try to get them out the house. And like I say, just one fly, bro, just one fly. All right, not to mention like when we having cookouts and things like that, especially back in the day, especially being in the country, mosquitoes and flies, oh my goodness, it'll ruin the party very fast. All right, just smacking, all day. All right, so you can only imagine, bro, how terrible it was for them back in ancient Egypt, man. So here we go.
And then you realize you're not alone. You look up to your ceiling, you see flies everywhere. You look out your window, it's covered with flies. Hundreds of them all over your home. 4 in your corners, Warren Wright, showing you how the problem is ruining one man's Thanksgiving. Warren?
Yeah, that's right, Patrick. One Cape Coral man is perplexed, horrified, and exhausted. And now he's frustrated because he thinks his pest control company isn't doing their job.
I've never seen anything like it.
Inside Thomas Cook's house, there are flies everywhere, covering doors, inside light fixtures,
See what I'm saying? I don't know whatever look like it about like 20, 30 flies, bro. That'll make me very uncomfortable. I got to kill them guys, man. I got to bring out one of them bombs or some spray or something, bro. They got to die. So you can only imagine. It was no escaping these plagues, bro, for the Egyptians, man.
Even looking out the window is a challenge.
We're supposed to have company come down tomorrow for Thanksgiving. Who would want to come down to this?
Cook has a contract.
Say less, like I said, it ain't even a lot of flies. I mean, compared to what we hearing in this Bible, but still, though, I'm saying, like, but if you walk in your house and it's more than like 1, 2, 3 flies, it's a problem. You got to figure out what's going on, bro. Close the door. Stay in or stay out, what they used to tell us. And then, our grandma, letting all them flies in the house, man. So you could only imagine, bro, how bad it was back in ancient Egypt for Pharaoh and his people, bro. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't deal with it because like I said, I know myself, bro. I can barely deal with doggone flies now. And moving on. All right. Plague number 5, man. Behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain. All right. And then I had looked up that word murrain, and it says an infectious disease, all right, or a plague or epidemic affecting, specifically cattle or other animals, all right. Go on and read in verse 4. And the Lord shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel's. All right. So once again, all right, the Lord has caused some type of disease, man, to come upon, all right, all the animals, all right, of the Egyptians, man, and he did, and I don't know what I got for that. Oh yeah, just a little. Oh my God, like what, like your dogs, all right, but especially the cattle. So that means if let's say this is a cow, all right, so that means ain't no getting milk from this diseased animal, ain't no doggone sure you ain't finna damn eat it. So they finna get ready to deal with famine, okay. More thirst, all right. It's just problem after problem after problem for these Egyptians, man. I can only imagine once again, bro. Moving right along here, man. Where we at? Then we're going, yeah. Plague number 6. And it reads, Exodus 9:8. And the Lord said unto Moses, unto Aaron, take to you handfuls of ashes of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it toward the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh. All right. And it shall become small dust, and in all the land of Egypt. All right. And shall be a boil breaking forth with glands upon man and upon beast throughout all the land of Egypt. All right. So, of course, they did it. And I looked up that word for bland, man. It says an inflamed swelling or sore on the skin. So once again, it got everybody of the Egyptians, man. It got all the people, the kids, the women, and don't forget about their animals. And check it out. These are just some boils. It looks like it's a so-called Edomite. But good gracious, bro. Because there wasn't no play boils. I ain't talking about no pimple, homeboy. We talking about some very, very grievous sores, man. All right. It's just disgusting. It was just a very nasty, disgusting, uncomfortable time once again for Pharaoh and the rest of the Egyptians, man, that had our nation under all that servitude and that oppression, man. All right. So continuing on to plague number 7. All right. Where we at? Yeah, it's gonna get stupid. It gets stupider and stupider. All right. All right, cool. All right. Yeah, Exodus 9, verse 18. So like, yeah, behold, tomorrow about this time I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail, all right, such as have not been in Egypt since the foundation thereof, even until now. All right. Send therefore now and gather thy cattle and all that thou hast in the field, for upon every man and beast which shall be found in the field and shall not be brought home, the hail shall come upon them and they shall die. All right. And of course the children of Israel got their ish together. All right. And probably some of the Egyptians. But it goes on to read and he that regarded not the word of the Lord left his servants and his cattle in the field. And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch forth thine hand toward the heaven, all right, that there may be hail in all the land of Egypt, upon man and upon beast and upon every herb of the field throughout the land of Egypt. All right, so there it again, man. The Lord not leaving no stone unturned. He made sure it got the people, got the animals, and got their doggone food, man. Just with the hail, man. All right, and it goes on to read. So there was hail and fire mingled with the hail, very grievous, all right, such as there was none like it in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation, all right. And the hail smote throughout all the land of Egypt, all that was in the field, both man, beast, they died, okay. And the hail smote every herb, all the herb died, all right, and break every tree of the field. All right. So once again, just death, destruction, and can't forget about that famine, that happened in ancient Egypt, man, because of Pharaoh. All right. And let's see what we got on that, man. Yeah, check out some of these hailstorms. Just a reminder, man.
I just made it home. Oh my God.
Oh my God! See that when something like major like this happen, that's the first thing, man. The heathen do, man. They call out the, "Oh my God! Oh my God!" That's all they can really say. Yeah. Terrible.
Oh my God.
That's just a little something compared to ancient Egypt. Oh my God! Let's not forget like what the scriptures told us, man. That hell, like I say, I'm sure if you get hit, bro, it gonna hurt. I don't know if enough, or if it hit you in the right way. If the little ones are dead, yeah, you'll catch it. But they probably was, for it to destroy the trees and the earth and kill the animals and people, they had to be either pretty big or coming down pretty fast, and it probably was a lot more hail falling, from the sky, man, from the heavens, man. Oh yeah, that'll crack your skull, bro.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, check this lightning out too, man, because it said it was fire mingled with that hail, man. The Lord had brought lightning along with that hail, man, and that lightning it caused a fire to be upon the earth as well, man. Don't forget about that. So it was just terrible times for these Egyptians, man. Check it out. How would you feel, man? Look at these idiots, bro, with their cameras and watch how quick they scream and get the hell out the way with the power of the Lord, man.
No, I'm not.
There it is again. Did you hear? Oh my God! Oh my God! Let's check it out one more time.
No, I'm not.
So like I said, just imagine that non-stop lightning like that with the hail. All right, psh, boy, stop. You don't want no smoke with the Lord. Oh, they going back in the house.
Oh my god! Oh my fucking god!
There it is again, bro. Oh my god. You see that? Direct strike on that tree, bro. Just hail and lightning just destroying everything, bro. Yeah, say less, man. But yeah, man. Man, look, when I was growing up, anytime that it started just thundering a little bit, bro, my pops would used to make us turn off all the electronics and things like that, and we just had to sit there kind of quiet. That's how he was brought up out there in the country. That was he say his grandma used to do, because they still lost, bro. I don't try to prophesy to them, but but at least they have, when it comes to the weather, which ain't nobody on this planet really want. And maybe the storm chasers, all right, maybe they want to smoke with the weather, but everybody else, man, once that bad weather come, man, it ain't too much we can do, man. So we do, like my father specifically, he fears the Lord as it relates to that destructive power that the Lord brings with the elements, man, and the nature, if you will. He don't want no problems with just thundering. All right, just hearing thunder alone. There, you know how it is when it's raining, man. You hear that thunder, and then you hear that boom, and like that's enough to tighten your behind up, ain't it? All right, moving along, man. Let's see where we at, bro. I think we on plague number 7, going on to plague number 8. Yeah. All right, and the Lord said unto Moses, Exodus 10:12, stretch out thy hand over the land of Egypt for the locusts, that they may come upon the land of Egypt and eat every herb of the land, all that the hail hath left. And Moses stretched forth his rod over the land of Egypt, and the Lord brought an east wind upon the land all that day and all that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts. All right, and the locusts went up over all the land of Egypt and rested in all the coast of Egypt. Very grievous were they. Before them there were no such locusts as they, neither after them shall be such. All right. And the locusts went up over the land. Yeah, we read that. For they covered. Yeah. For they covered the face of the whole earth. All right. So that the land was darkened. All right. And they did eat every herb of the land, all the fruit trees, all right, which the hail had left, and there remained not any green thing in the trees or in the herbs of the field throughout all the land of Egypt. So here we go, man. These locusts, these crazy, insane locusts that the Lord brought upon the land, first and foremost, it covered the whole land, so it was dark. All right, straight up, all the actual earth, the ground, it was locusts everywhere. They came, ate all their fruit trees, ate all their herbs. Once again, they go to famine. All right, just eating up shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think I got a little visual on that. I know y'all probably heard about the
$1 million to eliminate it.
What was it, Nevada? And all them locusts that was out there a little recently.
A plague of locusts in Madagascar. Half of the money is needed by June to try to save the country's crop production. Around half of Madagascar is currently in.
So it was 10 times worse because it covered the whole land, bro, so that it looked dark on the ground, okay? 10 times worse.
With each swarm made up of billions of insects.
And this is pretty bad if I do say so myself. Right. Like I hear bro that's running sound like he coughing, like you could only imagine, like you probably can't even breathe with all them things flying in the air like that, man, So once again, man, just going back to the theme if you will, of today's lesson, man. Fear the Lord, man. He is to be feared, man. I'm fearing the Lord. That's why I'm doing this doggone video. You know, in the name of YAHAWA WA the water. Moving on, man. I think we got 2 more left. All right, so let's see. Rusted. Yeah, here we go. And the Lord said unto Moses, Exodus 10:21, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. Now, like I say, I can't really get no video on that. You just have to use your imagination, and we ain't never really experienced nothing like that. You know, blackout, sure, but you know, I can say when I was in Iraq, it used to get pretty dark, especially cause when there's no, you know, ain't a whole lot of lights out there in that desert, man. So you do get the experience of different kind of darkness, than over here in the States, man. And of course, dust storms would come, and like maybe in the middle of the day, and it would turn, you know, day into night within a few minutes or sometimes a few seconds. I could have got a video on that, but I let you use your imagination, man, about how dark it was, man. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt for 3 days. All right. So they saw not one another. So it was so dark that even in your house, okay, you couldn't see your wife, your kids, your neighbor, okay. Neither rose any from his place for 3 days, but all of the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. Yeah, just a quick little faith booster about, you know, Jacob's trouble, and, you know, some prayers that I send up to the Most High about, you know, some things that I pray that he protect us from. It'll be, yeah, things like this when the power go out, okay? Oh, Baba Kashab, and now YAHAWA WA please provide us with, you know, the ability to see or light just straight up. Because the Lord then did it, he'll do it again, man. And I just, once again, bro, it was so dark that, I mean, how could you leave your house? You couldn't see in front of you. You couldn't see your own hand, bro. And like I said, I can't do nothing but imagine that, all right? All right, so the last plague, man, then we'll wrap it up. The 10th plague, I believe. And the Lord said unto Moses, yet will I bring 1 plague more upon Pharaoh and upon Egypt. Afterwards, he will let you go hence. When he shall let you go, he shall surely thrust you out hence altogether. All right. And Moses said, thus saith the Lord, about midnight will I go out into the midst of Egypt, and all of the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die. All right, check it out. From the firstborn of Pharaoh, so his firstborn dead. All right, yeah. Even to the firstborn of all the maids and every other lower citizen that was dwelling in ancient Egypt. Yeah, they firstborn die, okay? And can't forget about, all right, that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of the beast, man. And there it is, man. So once again, YAHAWA with his infinite wisdom, all right, not leaving any stone unturned back during these plagues. He made sure he got them, you know, Pharaoh at the top, everybody that worked for Pharaoh, everybody else, you know, that didn't have shit, then he killed them too. Even like anybody that probably didn't even really mess with Pharaoh like that, but he killed them too. All right, they firstborn. And don't forget about the animals, man. So, you know, just, I mean, oh my gosh, bro. I can only imagine, man. Like I say, bro, that's pretty much gonna do it, man. Just a little recap of some of the power, all right, and terrors that the Lord has and will bring upon, you know, anyone that doesn't fear him, man. So, you know, with that, all I can say is Israel, man, repent. The kingdom of heaven is at the door, or we're at the door. Repent, fear the Lord, you know, try to keep these law, statutes, and commandments, because we know good and well we don't want no parts of any of the Lord's judgment or any of the Lord's wrath, man. In the name of YAHAWA WA the water, YAHAWA WA YAHAWASHI. And with that, peace, mercy, To the hopeful elect, Shalom.